Okay, so I'm back. Got some stuff I've been seeing on social media recently, and I want to come on. I saw it on Instagram, and I want to come and talk about it. Some stuff I thought was worth talking about. And breaking news today was Ashton Jeanty has officially changed his stance. It's been a big debate. It hasn't been debated as much, but people are just catching on him. It was a big debate about his stance and how he stood like Michael Myers or something like that. It was something Michael Myers, like something like that. But he looked like it was like, what was it like? He like gave Michael Myers vibes or something like that. Um, but either way, he stands as everybody knows. He stood straight up. He didn't bend his knees or as put his hands on his knees, and start throwing his behind in the air. So he didn't do that. So I guess Chip Kelly wanted him to change it. And that's why my camera's a little high because I'm going to show y'all something and I want to know y'all's thoughts because I think sometimes seeing visual things is better for people to understand why this is just dumb. Um, and I'm not a fan of Chip Kelly just because of what I heard from, like, if you know the LaShawn McCoy podcast and Deshaun Jackson. And it's one thing if it's like, here's the best thing I say about Chip Kelly and why I'm not a fan of him. If there's no, let's just say there's a fight at a school, right? Let's say the cameras are out or they can't figure out who started it. Who started the fight? They can say that people are fighting. They know who fighting, but they don't know who started it. How did it start? If one person say, if everybody say a different story, is one thing. Okay, well, this person said this person, this person, this person. There's a bunch of different names. Nobody's saying there's no one consensus or two, three consensus people. But if everybody's saying the same, if 90, 80% of the 60% of people saying the same name, hey, from what I know, it was this guy. From what I know, it was John. It was John. It was John. It was John. And there may be a Jack or two, but it was a John. It was John. It was John. Then guess what? If everybody's saying it was John, the 89, 60, 90, 70, 89% of people saying it's John, and everybody's starting lining up to, hey, from what they hear is John, John this, John that, and everybody starting lining up, and it's all starting, and then they all have, and he's known as aggressive, whatever. Everybody's saying it's John, then what are the chances you think it's John that started the fight? So that's what I think with Chip Kelly, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, and I know he had calls people on that clip I saw. And people say Chip Kelly's one of the worst. He's one of the worst. He's no good. He's not a player's coach. He doesn't get players better. He doesn't know how to maximize his players. I'm not going to be a fan of him. I think this is him doing it again because I'm going to show y'all something, right? Because look at this. Look at this. This is Ashton Jetty's stance. This is a stance. This is a stance, right? So this is why I don't understand about him changing his stance. Because like, oh, he'll give the play away. He'll give the play away. This is Ashton Jetty's stance on play action. This is Ashton Jetty's stance on the outside zone. This is Ashton Jetty's stance on an inside zone. This is a Jeanty stance on a play action. This is a stance on a deep shot. This is a stance on an RPO. This is a stance on a trick play. This is a stance on a screenplay. Like, where does this stance change to where, oh yeah, now we know when he stands like that, he stands like this every play. No matter the play, even if it's not for him, he stands like this. This is a stance when he knows, hey, I'm not running around. I'm just gonna go. I'm just here to. I'm staying in here for protection. I'm chip blocking, or I'm here. I'm helping out. I gotta go pick up this linebacker in the A gap, or I gotta sit here and I gotta be a six. I gotta be a 6-0 lineman to help the offensive line out. I gotta block on third down. Or I'm going on a wheel route. Or I'm going on a Texas route. His stance is the same every single, no matter what they ask him to do. His stance is the exact same. So why his stance had to change? That's why my camera was higher than it usually is because I wanted to do that and show y'all because that's how I see it right now. It's like cause that's what I did before I got here. I just like let me see his stance. I'm like his stance. Let me see if I could just see visual. I'm a visual person. A lot of people aren't. It's better that way. His stance doesn't change. I don't understand. I don't understand. And then comments like this: when he gets tired, he's going to be hunched over a little more. Can't say anything to the defense, bro. The dude was 30, 25, 30. He was carrying boys on his back. He was their offense. Like, what do you mean when he's tired? Like he was tired the whole season. Like, what do you mean? He was running. He was the offense. Like I think he was tired the whole season. Like I didn't ever see him like even when he was tired, so he would never bent over. So that doesn't even make sense. I just think his excuses. This guy's not a good coach, and he's not just going. It may change it, but I think when you start changing what a player's naturally comfortable with, and is not really a problem, and there's no real reason for it, real reasonable reason for it, I think that's when you get into hurting a player's development because now you're taking him out of his natural position. So I'm not saying he's gonna be bad or anything, but it's just something I want to watch, and I wasn't a fan of when I saw it. Um, because like, yeah, I had my hands. He didn't even. He just stands up straight. Like where is somebody tell me right now what play Boy Stan is about to run? Because you don't know because he says like this every single time. So that whole argument, oh, he's gonna give plays away. What plays was he about to run then on this right here? Obviously, you don't know. You don't. What is he? What are they about to run? You don't know. You have no idea. So that's why I don't get. And it says, but he knows he has to earn his stripes and make some big plays first. Jeanty hopes to. Okay, so Jeanty hopes to convince Raiders offensive coordinator Chica to change his stance back, but he knows he has to earn his stripes and make some big plays first. That's my next thing too. That's my next thing too. Uh, like so he's. What you know why he wants to change it back? Because that's not his natural stance. That's why he wants to change it back. And I know you like you said has to earn stripes, has to make some big plays first, but I just don't understand the whole idea. Like I don't understand the oh well traditional or that's how it was when I was. That's how it's always been for me. Okay, well it's called evolving, and that's something about Chip Kelly. If you're not going to evolve with the times, and not everybody's going to, and he may be setting a new standard, but like if you're not going to evolve with the times, and like I said, there's no reasonable reason to change what he's doing. I don't understand that, and I just think he's being an old school coach. He's an old school. He's trying to be an old school coach, and that's how it's always been with me. And that's why coaches like him don't succeed. That's why he's on his. How many jobs has he been in and out of the NFL? Had to go to high school. Had to come back to the NFL. Was at UCLA. Couldn't even rebuild UCLA as a head coach. Like you want to be traditional and you want to be this and that, and it's okay. You got to be able to evolve as a coach. And I just think Chip Kelly's showing lack of evolution. And he's using the mindset of, well, that's how it's always been for me. So that's how it's always, that you have to evolve. If you're not evolving, then you're gonna get left behind. Where did you see any dinosaurs walking around right now? Like, so that's my thing. I just upset me, but the Raiders are gonna be the Raiders. So, next. So, uh, rat run down. No, but so this account came out with the SEC RB1 rankings, and this is one of the worst rankings I ever seen in my life. I don't know how Cedric Alexander is at 16. Jaden Ball 15. Jaden Ball got to be like a top one back in the SEC, bro. Like he got to be like top three, bro, at least, bro. I'm sorry. Like this dude's different, bro. Ask anybody that played Florida and went against him last year. That dude's a first round pick. He's different, bro. Um, I don't know who made this list, but you need to really reevaluate yourself, bro, in what football you watch. Like somebody said, just turn on a Florida game, bro. And I know he was only a freshman, so people still get. But you come on, if you watch college football and you know Jaden Ball, like you have to know, bro. Um, like this dude different, bro. He's like top three bare minimum. I don't understand how he's 15. Then you put on a bunch of Peyton Lewis who has done nothing. Demario Allston, like these dudes have done nothing compared to Jaden Ball. Then you put Caden, who's also a top three running. Like, bro, I don't. Dude, Caden Durham, another one. Shout out to Duncanville, Texas. I've been knowing about this kid since he was like a junior. A lot of people have. He's different, bro. Um, but Caden Durham, he's a top three, four back, top that minimum. Him and Ball, top five, if not top three, top two, bro. Like backs in the SEC, and these dudes put him at 12. Like I don't like that's just ridiculous. That's two. You're talking. You just put two first round picks at 12 and 15 for Logan Diggs and Dante Dowell is really good, and Braylon Russell really good. Lavon Moss really good. Devon Blue really good. Oh, come on, bro. Like this was horrendous. Jam Miller over Jaden Bonke Durham. Rashul Faison. I'm not saying he's not can't be a great player, but I just think that's a little too early to say he's better than Bond Durham. I love Nate Frazier. I like Baxter. Again, Ahmad Hardy. I just thought Bond and Durham probably should have been one and two. Um, and then I would have put Nate Frazier. I would have put Nate Frazier three, and then I would probably would have put Baxter four. Ot five, maybe Rashul Faison of Ot, to round out my top five. But yeah, I just think that's a little. I mean, this is just and like for Baxter, because here's the thing about Baxter, we got to see how he looks off that injury. Like I don't like putting him at three because we don't know what he's gonna look like this year off injury. Like, and no one's gonna know. This is my new saying about players coming off injuries. They're not back until they're back, and you'll know they back when they start playing like they back. So when a guy like Baxter goes down, people are like, oh, he'll be back by week one. But when is he really gonna be back? Because he could be playing by week one or week four, or whatever. When we go to the swamp or floor, he could be playing. But when is he gonna be back, like the 100-yard All-American level player we know he can be? So until I see him and have one of those games, then I know he should. Then I know he'll be back. So, but no one knows when that time is. I don't even think he probably doesn't even know when he'll be back, and he won't know until he proves it to himself. Until he shows himself like, okay, I know I'm back. You got to have one of those games where you dominate. Then you know, okay, I'm fully back. I'm back to myself that I was before. So I just think three is too high for Baxter. But when he comes back, like I think it'll be fair. But until then, I just don't. I think this is a little high, and I also think he'll be back for his senior year too. So um, I'll say that. But yeah, I just want to come talk about this. I thought that was bad. And the last thing I'll talk about too was according to Brad Crawford, he put out his 2025 college football playoff projections, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Georgia ain't making it. Alabama ain't making it. Um, Miami definitely ain't making it. Ohio State's not making it. Uh, and Oregon, LSU, we'll see. In Oregon, we'll see. I gotta see Oregon's schedule. I have not done a record prediction for Oregon yet, but I know Georgia's not making it. I don't think Alabama makes it. I definitely don't think Miami makes it. Um, so I just tell you that right now. So that's where he already went wrong. First of all, because he's missing Florida. I don't know where Florida should be in here. They should be. They honestly should be. If they're on the left side of the bracket, they should either be playing Clemson and that Georgia. They should either meet us or Clemson if they're on the right side of the bracket. And if they're on the left side of the bracket, they should be playing the winner between Clemson and Texas for that championship, because those are my top three teams. I don't think Penn State makes a national championship, um, unless like unless something like what happens with Lagway, because I do think Florida, Clemson, and Texas are my top three. Consensus, I think those are my top three true national championship contenders as of right now. Now Notre Dame's the team I'm looking at. I got to see Notre Dame's quarterback. I just have a question. Not saying he can be great, but I haven't even heard anybody be named a starter. So how can I say Notre Dame's going to not that they can, I think Notre Dame probably will make the playoffs, but I can't rank Notre Dame when they haven't even they don't even know themselves who their starting quarterback is going to be. So how am I going to sit here with a program who Marcus Freeman himself probably couldn't even tell you right now who the starting quarterback is, but you know, and I'm supposed to tell you who who the guy is. So I don't know who the quarterback for Notre Dame is, and I also it's not like Archer. We've seen him in the past. We haven't seen these guys too either. We in that they saw Steve Angeli. He went to Syracuse, so that's my only thing with Notre Dame. Even if there is maybe a starter that I don't know about, I haven't seen him play. So even if I knew it was Carr or Mitchie, I still wouldn't be able to rank them, like say if they're contenders or not, because I have to see them play. And like I said, this it'll ever be evolving, because as the season goes on, then we'll be able to see Mitchie, Carr, and look A&M and those kind of teams will be he have good. They have Notre Dame has a loaded schedule in the season, so and they're smart for doing that because they don't play in our conference, so they gotta get they gotta get, I think it's an RPI or whatever, strength of schedule. They got to get that up. I think it's what we call football, RPI and baseball, whatever. But it's same thing. It's just strength of schedule, and it's ranking like how strong your schedule is, and how well you did on that strength of schedule. I mean, you get the whole thing. So they need to get that up. And if they're not going to be in a conference, especially not in a major conference like the Big Ten or the ACC, so they need to get that up. And so that was smart for them the way they're scheduling out of conference. But yeah, so I don't think Penn State makes it. I don't even think Georgia gets. And I like how you put him in 11th seed. He's almost there, but I do not think Georgia gets into the college football playoffs. And I don't think Ohio State's going to get in, much less be a one seed. I think Ohio State is not in the playoffs. Um, I like the Iowa State pick, and I said LSU, Oregon. I don't think LSU makes it, but LSU's 50-50 because here's the thing about Brian Kelly. He's so loaded. There's no excuse not for him to win this year. But he's also known for being a coach that doesn't win in big games. So we'll see. I mean, he had Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, and Brian Thomas, and he couldn't win more than 9 games. You're just not going to get better than that on average. So it's just hard for me to rank them up there because they don't have a Malik Neighbors or a Brian Thomas. Well, Nico Anderson might be that Brian Thomas level, like that build, but they don't have those two on at the same time. They don't, we'll see what Nussmeier can bring, but they just don't have that team. They don't have Will Campbell left tackle anymore. People forget he was part of Emory Jones, Garrett Dellinger. People forget about the off the line they had two that year. That was phenomenal. So yeah, and I do agree with the Texas pick. I do think Texas will be the number one overall seed over Ohio State because we're gonna go whoop Ohio State in the shoe. I think we number one overall seed, first round bye, and well, even though I don't think Bam will be playing Bama or Miami, I think we'll wax whoever we play, and I think Texas will run away as the clear number one team in America. Um, I think it'll be this year. The only team I think could give Texas maybe a run is, well, not even maybe. I think they could give Texas a run is is Clemson. I think Clemson or Florida. But we have to see. The thing about Florida, the reason why I have Texas right now winning is because I gotta see. I gotta see Lawig stay healthy for a whole season, and I don't trust the offensive line. I still think they might have a whole. And I think for Clemson too. Clemson's offensive line, can they hold up versus Texas? That's the thing about Texas and Florida, where I know Texas offensive line is gonna be able to hold up. I don't know if Clemson and Florida are gonna have the offensive lines when Texas defensive line and constants come at you. I think that just might be the deal breaker. Honestly. So and just the depth of Texas defense on Trey Moore and all those guys. But I don't. I think Florida's offensive line may be a year away from competing and beating Texas, and so I think that's the first thing. And then I want to see Florida's defense with a new D coordinator too. They were heading in the right direction, then they got a whole new D coordinator. So that's going to change a lot too. We'll see what that looks like. I'm still confident that they'll win. Like I said, I'm still confident they're going to win a bunch of games. When it comes to elite of the elite, though, we got to see because when you're playing elite of the elite, especially a guy like Sark, whatever weakness he got, he's going to be able to expose it. And he has the talent and he has the knowledge to be able to do it. It's what a lot of these other teams can't and won't. And don't have Sark and March Manning and the next Joe Burrow. So, yeah, and I made that claim now. Arch Manning is the next Joe Burrow. Just like so I think sources in the program has said that hey, um, it's not about if Arch Manning is going to be great. It's going to be saying that's about Baxter is when is he going to be great? When is that greatness going to kick in? Is it going to be week one versus Ohio State? Will it be week 10 or whenever we play Georgia? Will it be, 'cause I believe great players show up in big games. So it has to be one of the Georgia, Ohio State, Florida. It has to be one of those games. Oklahoma, one of A&M, one of those Arkansas. I think would be really good. One of those big games, national TV that people watch. You can't be great. I mean, and great players also are great in the smaller games too. But the great players really show up in the lights of the brightest. But from sources in the program, it seems like the Texas coaching staff is not worried about if he's going to be a great player. It's more about when he's going to be a great player, and how long does it take for him to get there. When it comes to end season and bullets are really flying, or playing, it's not spring, it's not practice, it's real bullets flying, it's real stuff. But I think he's already great, and I think he's ready to go. I think Sark is I think if he had to play last year, they would have won that championship. So I think Sark's ready to roll. I thought Texas could have been going for a two-peat, and then next year with Arch again could have been a three-peat. But it is what it is. Um, so yeah, but I don't think I definitely don't agree with a lot of this on the list. And I think it's gonna be a big reality check when teams like Ohio State and Miami and some of these teams that everybody keep raving up. People forget Ole Miss was the Portal Kings last year and they didn't make the college football playoffs. So I think it needs to be a reality check to people just because you got a big off season. Like I'm looking at coaching, I'm looking at everything. I'm telling you right now, Ohio State, some of these teams I think just overrated and they're not gonna be in it. So I'll leave it at that. But I do agree with Texas being not champions. I don't think they'll be playing Penn State. But like I said, we'll see. We'll see. And but yeah, so I just want to talk about that real quick. I saw that, and then I want to talk about this too, bro. So SEC Unfiltered, bro. Could offseason additions result in a college football playoff run for the Sooners? Oklahoma won't even make the college football playoffs. So let's just get that flat out the way. They won't even make it. So that's the first thing. Second of all, because they won't even make it. So like I just they won't make the college football playoffs. Yep, somebody said. Remember when Texas had these kind of posts? Like, come on, they won't even make it. It's coming from a Texas fan who who had seen some of this stuff back. I'm a little younger, but seen this kind of stuff with Texas and know about it and heard about it from other people. They only made the college football playoffs. That's the first thing. Much less a run. Won't be happening for Venable, especially because he can't steal signs anymore because we can actually have simultaneous communication. Um, so this clickbait stuff is crazy to me. Like, why y'all gotta clickbait to get people to watch you? Like, why can y'all not just be honest and say, hey, blah blah blah. Well, good off-season additions, college football playoffs. No, they're not gonna. They're not even gonna make the playoffs, much less make a run in the playoffs. So that's just ridiculous. I don't know if y'all think. I think Mateer. I think he has a chance to be a first round pick. Flat out, I'm a big fan of the guy, but he's not Jesus Christ. Like he's not Jesus Christ. Like he can't do everything by himself. So to sit here and make claims like this to me is crazy. Because right now in this offseason, there's no reason why you should be talking about Oklahoma making a run in the college playoffs with everything he has to offer going into this year. Um, so I say that. But because y'all look at teams like Florida and think they're going to be average, that's why y'all think that. So somebody got to come up. And right now, I'm telling you, the teams are going to make a run is Florida out of the SEC and South Carolina. That's two. By the way, like who are y'all ranking? Where is South Carolina? Like I'm guaranteeing South Carolina will be in the playoffs. Guarantee. Like where are they at? Like y'all love Lenore Sellers, but then y'all just like I'm confused. So that's why I don't get. I love Noah Sellers, but then y'all don't love his team. So what you plan? I mean, like just like they got hot. They showed ability just like Florida last year to be a team, and they're gonna build on it. I think choosing teams that's a problem. People just look at the teams. Oh, it's Georgia. They're gonna make it. But you got to, it's a reevaluation every single year of coaching and roster building and everything. So a lot of these analysts don't reevaluate. They just hear LSU, Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia, Notre Dame, Alabama, Miami. Y'all just hear team names and just throw them on there for likes and clicks instead of reevaluating. Okay, how did Kirby Smart look last year? How does roster look? What do they got coming in? If you, and I'm personally, I follow recruiting, so I'm really up on these rosters and knowing what's going on. That's my job. Doing my job at a high level. A lot of y'all ain't doing your job at a high level. This is ridiculous. It's just stupid. You just choose big names because we're the team like South Carolina, who people were clamoring to make a playoffs last year, and then they're gonna come back this year and they're just not gonna make it now. But oh, Miami's just gonna walk into it. They couldn't even make it with Cam Ward, the number one overall pick, and Carson Beck is just gonna walk into it and and Ty Simpson over Lenore South. I just don't understand. This list is horrendous. And now the thing I wanted to say too, I just thought about that. Last thing I want to talk about. So I see now Michigan is with he's playing stuff from week 3 and week 4. Everybody's like, oh, he picked the game, spanned the elbow. This is a joke, right? It's not a joke because here's the thing. He picked the game. He picked the games he was suspended for, but he suspended himself for the harder game. He suspended himself for the Nebraska game instead of the OU game. Um, I think that's going to end up biting Michigan because not that they might have even beaten Nebraska anyways, but I think you could put that as almost a guaranteed L. Especially because does anybody know who's taking his job over? I don't even know. Wink Martindale? We'll see, but I think everybody's like, oh, he's suspended. This is stupid. He's suspending himself. Like this is dumb. Why does he get to choose? Bro, he suspended himself for the Nebraska game. That's a massive game early in the season. Like that might end up that's probably gonna end up a loss for them. So to say he's like like y'all talk I don't know y'all forgot but Nebraska's coming, bro. Matt Rule's coming and he may be another team that may be in the playoffs. They're coming though. So don't like let's just not do this right now. He suspended himself for the harder game between the weeks 1 and 4, which I'm assuming they were looking at early in the season, so that way once conference, which is smart. With these 1 and 4, because your weeks 1 and 3 is a non-conference, and week 4 is the latest because that's your first non-conference. That's your first conference game usually, and you want to get that out the way, and you don't want to be suspended in conference. 'Cause that's when it matters most. So to suspend himself for the harder game between Oklahoma and between the 4 weeks between the two hardest games, the two games that are actually going to be games for Michigan was Oklahoma and Nebraska. To suspend himself for a harder game to me is wild. But I understand it because I think you get the feeling like, hey, we know we could beat Oklahoma with Sharon if we got Sharon. We know. I think that's how Michigan's thinking. Like, hey, I'll handle Oklahoma because Nebraska, I can't. I don't think Michigan beats them. I think Nebraska beats Michigan. It may be ugly. So I don't see Michigan beating Nebraska. So I think they're thinking like, hey, let's just go for the easier game Because if I send myself for the OU game and we lose that, and I come back and then and Nebraska's gonna be a really good team, we lose that, then we're down 0-2. When I could have just spent myself for the Nebraska game, coach the Michigan, coach the Oklahoma game, won that, and at least we go 1-1, and that weeks between times between weeks 1 and 4. If you get what I'm saying. So I do think it was a smart move, and no, it's not just like, oh, he gets to pick the game suspended. Ellis is a joke, right? No, he's spending stuff for Nebraska. Nebraska might be in the College playoffs. Yeah, I think Michigan would love to have Sean Moore for that game. Like it ain't just like it ain't Eastern Michigan. Like let's be real now. So I say that too. Yeah, just come on here and say whatever. And uh, it's just dumb. It's dumb. But yeah. So I want to end on that. I'll leave it at that. I will leave like that. Yeah.